All right, y'all, we fixing to get this party started. Just got in, I got all my groceries. And I had to pick up a few things today. But had an appointment with my sister, so I had to get that taken care of. And I just love this old apron. I know it ain't the prettiest thing in the world, and well, and I'm gonna get tangled up in it here, but it gets the job done, and I don't have to worry about nothing getting through it because it's that old thick duck cloth. And I probably got it twisted up in the back, but hey, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna get my eggs out of the way over here, so y'all get on here and comment and tell me how your day went, and what are y'all cooking for dinner. Y'all, this is going to be the dinner the soup I was talking about that I was going to, I'm going to make for my daughter. Y'all know her as Pokey Lee. So, Mama gets the good stuff, y'all. This is the 90% lean. I almost got the Angus. I wish I could get some fresh beef around here. But, you know, when you work like I do and church, I know y'all got busy lives. I got busy lives too. And, but anyway, these are breadcrumbs. And, so, just walking in the door. And so y'all tell me what you're doing for dinner. Are you getting ready for dinner? I'm about to get my stuff going here. Got some Parmesan, and this is gonna be this is not really a, sorry, I'm wheezing a little bit, y'all. I think I might need to hit my inhaler a little bit. It's hay season here, so I have hay fever, y'all. And I've been sneezing today, and yeah, my big baby, y'all call her Pokey Lee. Pokey's what my daddy gave her that nickname. And but anyway, she's not feeling good. Hadn't been feeling good. Mommy is gonna take care of her baby. This dish is not really a southern dish, actually. I don't know where, you know, it's not, I think people buy it down here in the can. I don't know anybody that really makes it, but we're going to make it. I'm not afraid to make anything. I love to cook. So, that might be a little big. This is Parmesan. I love to grate cheese. You know that shredded stuff, already store-bought shredded stuff. Yeah, that's better. It has something in it to keep it dry. Somebody said it was like baking soda or something like that. But I like to shred my own cheese anyway. How about y'all? I like fresh food. But this is called Italian wedding meatball soup. And I'm going to make it with couscous instead of the other little pastas. And I'm going to make the meatballs. That's what this cheese is for. So what are y'all having for dinner? Not seeing any comments, y'all. It is 5:28 here. And I am Central Time. Hey, Kat. Hey, Gia. Thank you, Gia. You're killing it, girl. I don't know how much of this cheese I gotta have, y'all, but we're gonna get after it here. I gotta go look at my recipe. I love to cook, so I'm going to tell you right now. You don't see a recipe in front of me, and then I'm going to go look it up. It's not going to be the same recipe that I looked up when I decided I was going to make this, because I knew when I read the ingredients, and I know the soup, because I do like the soup. I'm not, you know, I've only ever eaten it out of a can. I've never had it homemade. So I am very brave when it comes to cooking. Y'all share my live and invite more of your friends, okay? Hey, Bridget, Noel, or Brigitte, how do you pronounce it? And let's see, Amy Johansson. That's a cute name. I love that. So I'm jumping all in with this recipe, y'all. I am never afraid to try new things, and I encourage anyone that loves to cook or loves to eat. Everybody, I think, loves to eat. But I think that's probably going to be enough Parmesan, so I'm going to set this to the side, because I can yak all day and sit here and grate cheese, but we don't need to do that. So I'm going to set that to the side. I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to wash my hands. And the reason why I'm going to wash my hands is because I handled that packaging. And, you know, I don't know who else handled that packaging in the store. But I have my big stainless steel bowl here, and I'm going to put this meat. I'm actually going to mix this meat because I was scared that the really lean ground beef would be too lean and it might dry out for this recipe. So I'm adding a pound of ground chuck. And I may not use all of this meat. Like I said, I have to look at the recipe, but I am using a 90% beef sirloin, ground sirloin also. So, but it's going to work up super fast also. I mean, this is not going to be a really long cooking meal. Hey, Bridget. Let's see here. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you. And Night 0420. Thank you for joining. Bobby Sue. I have a cousin named Bobby. Her name is Bobby Hammonds. Me and her, we used to hoot and holler. Ooh, we were bad. Can't tell y'all how bad, though. That was another life of Sister Polk, y'all. I'll share some of my testimony at some point, but, you know, I've seen some that people that I've been looking at y'all's pages. I guess that's what you call it. And I'm trying to get some of this dirt off here too. These little lower things. And I see that some of you have, you know, a history. We all have a history. And just, you know, just so you know, and, you know, I love God. I serve God. And He has done an amazing work in my life. You would not believe where I've been and what the things that I've done and the life that I lived at one point. And the change that God has made in me. And it's been several years, but hey, I'll just say this. If y'all know what Coyote Ugly was, that was a long time ago. I didn't do Coyote Ugly, but yeah, I was around before Coyote Ugly started, I can tell you that. Not proud of the life I lived, but you know, I'm thankful that I have the experiences that I have in life. I don't encourage everybody to go down the road that I did, but anyway, let's get back to this food. Y'all can hear more about my testimony another time. And I don't remember, I don't think that this recipe called for green onions, but I'm actually going to add it just for a little more flavor punch. And I'm not going to do a lot, just a little bit. I'm going to do some of the bottom part because the recipe does call for onion. And so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use some of the greens at the top. And I'm not going to make you guys bear with me. Well, Actually, I am. Let's just do it. Because it's live. And y'all, if you want to be here, you want to be here. If you don't, that's the way I look at it. I'm not forcing anybody to be a part of, you know, what I'm doing. It's all voluntary, and I appreciate it. This is going to be a big pot of soup, too, by the way, y'all. So, I'm going to get my big pot out. I'm going to set this to the side. And I've got some fresh parsley. And I'm going to probably put all of this in another bowl so it's out of my way. Let me go grab my iPad. All right. Yeah, we're not doing music today. I play bass, and I'm learning to play piano. I'm a lifetime learner. I encourage everyone, never stop learning. Never stop improving your mind and increasing your knowledge, ever. Don't ever become stagnant. So, let's see here. If I can keep my children, I know there are some of them out there, from texting me while I'm trying to do this, maybe I won't be distracted. Let's see here. If y'all want to know what I'm doing, I'm looking up this recipe. Okay. All right, that's good. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Get some celery done. By the way, y'all, my husband, he had a grandmother. We called her Mama Nina. And she was a wonderful cook. I might have said this before, but my mother-in-law, Mimi, her duty was to wash the dishes when Mama Nina was alive, and Mama Nina did all the cooking. Well, Mimi said Mama Nina, she not only dirtied dishes, she dirtied all the dishes in the house. And I think I come close to it. My poor husband. I try to clean, I try to wash while I'm cooking along through the process, but it doesn't always work out that way. And so sometimes he's left with quite a mess, but you know, he's a trooper. He loves me, and he loves my cooking, so he definitely indulges me when it comes to anything I want, really. And he helps me. He is a helpmate. I'm a helpmate to him, and he is to me also. You know, there's nobody here that does more than anyone else. We do it together. So, as I recall, in this soup, and y'all comment, please. Hey, Leah Miller, or Leah. Is that a Leah or Leah? And Miss Miss Get That Money. I like that. And Bacon, Megan Cheese. That's a good one. I don't think, what I was going to say is, y'all's names are distracting me. They're so cute. I think that the celery has to be really chopped up fine for this dish. Okay? Italian wedding soup is a very light soup. The meatballs are tender and should be moist. But like I said, I've never made it from scratch. This is my first go at it, and you guys get to experience that with me. But like I said, I'm not really afraid of trying new things, and I encourage anyone. I mean, if you got taste buds and you know what you like, And also, if you've tried things and you know what it tastes like, then while you're cooking, you should know what it should get to. Now, I do encourage you, if you're using a recipe, read through the entire recipe first. If you're a new cook, new to cooking or trying to learn, and some families, the dynamic changes. Sometimes you have the husband at home or a fiance at home, and he's, things have changed and he's having to do the cooking. Hey, I hope there's some people, all walks of life out there that are watching this. I really do. So, I'm not going to put that in with the green onions. I need to do those green onions in something else. And I'm going to tell you why. Your more coarse vegetables need to cook longer than your tender vegetables. Green onions and parsley are tender vegetables. So I'm going to put them in a separate bowl because they're going to get added at a different time. I need to grab another bowl. So I'm going to put my green onions in here. Oops. And I make a mess, y'all. Everything hits the floor. I have tile floors. They're old tile floors. They need to be replaced. But hey, they're mine. And they're fine. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put my celery in here. I'm going to set these tops over to the side. And I don't waste anything, y'all. Everything that you see and that I'm putting up, if it doesn't go in the pot, it is going to go in a freezer bag. So I have it for later use. And I got these because I'm going to stick them in my dirt over here because I forgot to water my other ones. Because you can re-sprout your green onions, by the way. When you use them, you can save the bottoms, save the very tip bottom, and stick them in some dirt, your kitchen windowsill, and you'll have green onions in a few days, really, actually. So, I hope I didn't lose my train of thought there with what I was telling y'all. I'm washing the parsley right now. So I'm going to put that in with the green onions because, like I told you, this is a tender vegetable, and it's going to cook up quicker than the more coarse vegetables. And I've got some carrots in the refrigerator, some organic carrots, and I'm going to re-chop this. Okay. Now this I'm not going to save. Those celery stems. Parsley stems, that if I was juicing I would. I don't have a juicer. Thinking about getting one, but I have some other kitchen tools that I really want. And I'm gonna I have to look up every now and again. I really like how your kitchen looks. It looks so stylish. Thank you, phone addicts. It's very country and very simple. I have some kale. You can use kale or spinach for this dish also. I've got some kale in the freezer. I'm going to get that out, and I'm going to chop up some of that. I'm not going to put a lot of kale in it because, I don't want to overload it. Kale is one of the easiest things to freeze too, y'all. And when it freezes, it breaks up so easy. So that means it's gonna be less chopping for me. Let me see, y'all. What am I supposed to be telling y'all? I'm new to TikTok, y'all. So if I'm telling you stuff, y'all can giggle, you can laugh, you can carry on, because actually, that right there does not even need to be chopped. I'm going to put some in there, but I'm going to put the rest of it in there because I really want that kale to cook. I don't know how my child is going to tolerate that. And I know we're fine with it because we've eaten kale. It's something we do eat. My husband and I eat a lot healthier than our children and the families that we feed that, I cook for. But anyway, let me see. You're supposed to, I see I lost my train of thought. ADHD, y'all. And I'm tired. Did not have a good night last night, but it's okay. God is good. I did hear about my CPAP today. My order got sent over for that. So that's going to be in the making. I'll be getting some really good sleep. Again, I lost where I was at, y'all. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So you should be sharing my live and liking and sending hearts and sending, you know, all that stuff. Kyer, I think I said that correctly. Chrissy Williams, 5, hey. And Ruxar and Thomas. Melody. I can't see that. Melody Stone. Hi, Melody Stone. Y'all share what you're eating for dinner. What are you cooking? Are you cooking something? This is definitely my love language right here. All right, that's kale. Got some celery in there. I got a little bit of kale over here, green onions, and fresh parsley. So I'm done with that. All right, let's see what else we have to do. The onion. So I have a half a Vidalia onion from the last meal. I think I shared with you guys. Maybe it was with tomato gravy. I don't remember. But yeah, it's on the same cutting board. This does not have to be clean. It's all going in the same pot. It's not like I'm doing a dessert and then cutting onions. Besides, if I was doing a dessert, I definitely wouldn't be using this cutting board. So like and share, y'all. Share my live. And not really happy with size of these onions. Let's see, what is, oh, okay. Oh, I do need to put a little bit of that parsley in the meatballs. I have to think about that one for a minute. So, I did say that I do modify every recipe that I do, right? If I look it up or I have a cookbook, I always find my own little thing that I do or I don't do. I don't know that I'm putting parsley in those meatballs. I really don't. I don't think it's necessary. Because it's going to have the meat, which is beef, breadcrumbs, Parmesan, 2 garlic cloves, and I've got to mince that up, egg, and it's calling for parsley, salt, and black pepper. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary because there's going to be so much vegetable actually in the soup. I do need to go do my carrots. All right, that's good enough. Let's go in. It would help if I'd move that over, right? And y'all see me dropping everything. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm a cook that's very comfortable in her kitchen. Okay, Dawn Smith, 1313. Melissa Kidd, nice to see you. Mandy. Lola Summer Daw. Oh, that's cute. User, well, I have no idea. I'm not saying all those numbers. And Nikki Khan, hi. Thank y'all for joining. Okay, this recipe is calling for 1 egg, and I think I'm going to use 2. But right now, what I have to do is get all this out of my way. I do not have a lot of kitchen counter space. When we bought this house, we had, an idea that, we would make some changes. We just haven't ever gotten around to it. Maybe later, but we'll see. I'm not really interested in a $10,000 kitchen reno right now, or more. For what I would like to do, is probably going to be closer to $20,000. But anyway, so what I need to do right now is get the pot, the broth pot on the stove, because I have to get the vegetables cooking and tenderizing. These other ones, I'm going to hold those back, but these here need to go in the actual olive oil to start tenderizing. Then I'm going to add broth to that, okay? YGS, welcome. No, I'm not measuring. Not my thing. I'm perfectly confident in what I'm doing. Never made this recipe. So I'm going to put this burner at, those are my new fresh eggs I just got from my sister. I'm going to put it between high and medium. And these are going down. And then I'm going to get the carrots, because this needs to cook and tenderize. This soup is more brothy than it is anything. Oops. My husband calls my refrigerator a diva, and she is screaming right now. Let's see. I probably need to take this stuff down, because that's not anything anybody really needs to be seeing. Carrots. These are some organic carrots I got. And I'm going to shred these because, again, this soup is not really a chunky type soup. The chunk part of it is really just the meatballs. And we're going to make those homemade. And probably the gross thing that I don't like, neither does my daughter, touching meat. I hate touching meat. So I hadn't seen anybody's dinner posted. Nobody's telling me what they're cooking. I guess you guys are all door dashing it. Are y'all door dashing it today? Not cooking? Kathy? Hey, Kathy. Teeny Style did it. Styled it. Sorry. Sorry, y'all, if I'm murdering your handles there, your nicknames. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm going to follow the phonetics. How about that? Okay, I'm looking for my little grater. What did I do with it? Guess I'll have to bring the big one out. Oh, no, there it is. Let's see. Whew, that almost wasn't good. Let's see here. Who else we got? Lori joined. Hey, Lori. How's Chris doing? I see Wiley Jr.'s over in Ireland having a ball. I'm so glad he got to do that. All of our dreams about going to Ireland, right? What is on the menu? I'm making for the first time live, because, you know, I'm not scared of anything. That's my cousin's wife, Lori, y'all I'm talking to. She's known me my entire life. But this is going to be Italian wedding meatball soup, Italian wedding soup. Is that the right title? Let me see. Italian wedding soup, because it's mild. Pokey's not feeling good, so I'm trying to make something that her stomach can tolerate right now. And I think the baby's coming down with a little something. But I've never made it before. Oh, you have Christopher working? Girl, I thought he retired. What do you got him doing? My cousin Chris owned a paving company. I thought he retired from that, but you know, us country women, we gonna work our men. They gonna work. I think that's enough carrots, y'all. I don't think this dish needs a lot. And I don't want the carrots to overpower it. What do y'all think? I'm tenderizing the vegetables now, Lori. I didn't know when you came in, but this is celery and some kale and some Vidalia onion. And in this bowl, I have some kale that's really broken up really nicely, and some fresh parsley and the green onion ends and a little bit of the green. I didn't want a lot of that in there, but I'm going to get these vegetables here really tender and cooked down. So you put a lid on that. Okay, and I got some grated Parmesan here, and so we're about to start working on the meat part of it. I guess y'all are probably wondering how I'm going to know about the seasoning, because my because I've never done this before. And I really, like I said, I really don't trust recipes. And this is what I think is more of a northern dish for me. And I'm not big on the blandness. No offense, please, y'all. I'm not trying to offend anyone. But I'm not a big fan of the blandness of northern food. I'm a southern girl. We like spice, we like flavor, we like big flavor. And a lot of people down here really like salt. I'm not a big salt fan, but I will salt it to you know, where it should be. Almost forgot I got to do my garlic, because that goes in my meatballs. So what you got him doing, Lori? If he's not paving anymore. Hey, Samantha. Sea girl, how you doing? And I'm gonna get you. Y'all, these names are just killing me. So I love garlic. Again, garlic is good for you. So there's going to be a lot of garlic going in this. My daughter loves garlic too, if it's done correctly. My husband's home, y'all. Brother Polk is sitting over there relaxing. He's had his shower, and he's waiting patiently for me to get to a point where he can get his coffee. Are you having coffee this afternoon, honey, or tea? You want coffee? Okay. All right, I'm going to add a little more olive oil to that. And I could use canola oil, but this is an Italian dish, so olive oil it is. So I'm going to turn that down a little bit. When I get through handling this garlic, I'm going to fix Brother Polk a cup of coffee. He's had a long day. And so I'm going to make sure he has his evening coffee. You know, down here in the South, there's kind of a thing in this part of Mississippi and South Louisiana about the 3 o'clock pot. Anybody know anything about that? We kind of have a, which my husband gets a little bit later because he gets in from work a little bit later. But he's got to have his 3 o'clock pot. He loves coffee. He can drink that stuff and go right to bed. Not me. I cannot, and I love it. I love it. We drink strong coffee. I don't have a cup every morning. I usually drink mine on the weekends. I've been restricted from that strong coffee because of health issues. But I swear, I tell people all the time, I said, you know, I think they put that stuff in my ninny bottle. What we call a baby bottle. Oh, he's making grocery money. Hey, Texas T. You know anything about a 3 o'clock pot where you come from? So, but anyway, we drink coffee with chicory, and it is super strong. And so you can probably see why I'm restricted on coffee right now. But to understand that, but I mean, not really. I mean, because I don't know how many of y'all are hooked on or, you know, drink all those crazy energy drinks. I mean, hey, I'm not trying to judge anybody. I'm really not, but they are definitely not healthy. And I'm not trying to fuss with anybody about it. But anyway, are you adding any meat? Oh yeah, girl. Italian wedding soup is a meatball soup. And these are going to be really tiny little meatballs. You see that? That's sirloin, and I got a pound of chuck in there. Because I want them to be juicy. When you're using leaner ground meat, you know, it gets a little dry. And these will go right into the broth, Lori. Hey, Angie Kate. Nice name, cute name. And Paula Bridges 876. Hey, welcome. All right, let me read these instructions. This is supposed to be a pound of ground meat. I'm supposed to use a half cup of breadcrumbs and a cup of grated Parmesan. I think I did pretty good on the cup. That's probably a little bit more, but hey, we're good. A large egg, 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, chopped or dried. I'm using fresh. A teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to use white pepper, and I'm not going to go crazy with it because this does not need to be a really spicy dish. I've got people with stomach issues right now that don't need all that. Okay, let's see what else. Hey, C teachers, love you. Good job. Thank you for the #1 gifter badge. Let's see who else. Amanda Brooke, S. Char Estrada, Margaret P.I., Margaret Pie. Okay. Are you a math teacher, algebra teacher? Thank you for the tiny diny. Okay. Remember I told y'all my Granny Estelle showed me how to measure salt, and I've always done it this way. So please, you got to do it to taste. Usually when it says a measurement, do the measurement. If you need to add more salt, do it. I'm going to do this my way, okay? So this says a teaspoon, but I'm looking at this ground meat, and I can tell you right now that I'm going to go about 3/4 of a tablespoon in this. And that's about that right there, okay? And now, I mean, I can't show you because, like I said, y'all really need to follow a recipe. And that's all the pepper that's going in there because this really needs to be mild. And yeah, we're going to do all that cheese. How about that? And let me find my bowl. If anybody's been on here before, I've got, if you're using fresh yard eggs, I got my old Dollar Tree bowl. I don't know how long I've had that thing. And but these are fresh yard eggs. I got them from Graceland Heritage Farms. And the reason why, there's 2 reasons why I crack it in a bowl first. One, and I use a red bowl because I can look to see if I got a shell in there. That one is good. It's going down. All right. And this one, that one's good too. It's going down. No shells. Yay me. my granny, she used to crack eggs. She could crack them with one hand. She could crack them with one hand and open them with the same hand. I'm not that good. All right, so what else we got here? Breadcrumbs. These are, and I do make my own breadcrumbs, but like I told you, not, this is, some of it's going to stay here, but not all of it. So that's at a half a cup. I'm going to go, this is going to be a cup. And then if I need to add any more, I will. Oh, there's another tip that I wanted to give you guys. Again, this is not for your seasoned cooks. I'm doing this to be a blessing to those, to try to teach people to build their confidence in their kitchen. When you're using measuring cups, use all the same brand. Like these are my Pioneer Woman, and then I have a set of metal Pioneer Woman. If I'm working on a recipe and I need to get all those measurements exact, I'm going to continue using this same set because you want the, you want the consistency. Not all measuring cups measure the same, y'all. They don't. Hey Abby, love you. Jessica Khan, Misty Rain. Y'all share my live and like and do all that stuff and hit them stickers and all that good stuff. But anyway, just so you know, so I've got this set, and I've got this set, and this is my dollar store set. And and the reason why I have so many is because when I'm in here cooking and I'm doing multiple recipes, you know, I may go through all 3 sets at some point. Because I'm maybe cooking that much. Yeah, that smells so good, y'all. I may have to transfer this to a bigger pot too, depending on how big all this gets. And the way I work this, just so you know, okay, I will keep working this, and when I start dropping the meatballs in here, I may stop with the meatballs going in the soup, and I may just make them and freeze them or do something else with them. So I need to cut this down, and I need to get some chicken broth. And so I'm going to get that done. So let me get his coffee made. And I know that, you know, some of you more modern women think that possibly, what are you making? I am making Italian wedding soup for my loves. Love you. It's going to be a minute, but you're welcome. You're welcome. You tend to lose them. Oh, the measuring cups? Well, get the stuff out of storage and you'll have them. I'm making Brother Polk's coffee, y'all. I will be right back with y'all. And so I don't really know how to, I'll just keep talking. I don't know how to pause it. I don't know that you can pause a live. So, but, you know, maybe there's a way to do it. I just don't know how to do it. So y'all get to endure while I make coffee. How about that? But anyway, what I was saying is some of you modern women might actually think that I shouldn't be waiting on my husband. I should not. We're modern and, oh goodness, and you know, back in the day we called all that, and Lori will know what I'm talking about, women's lib. Sis don't belong to that garbage. I don't ascribe to that lie. Okay, y'all? Just so y'all know, I am a biblical wife. I love my husband, and he helps me, and I help him. He waits on me as much as I wait on him. It just so happens that he's home, he's tired, and he doesn't want to be a part of my video. And even if he did want to be a part of my video, I would still probably fix his coffee. So, I love y'all, and he's probably going to scold me for saying this, but if you don't like it, and you don't like the fact that I am going to wait on my husband, y'all can kiss my grits, because I'm going to do what my God says to do, and I'm going to be a good wife to my husband, a loving wife, and a doting wife. So, and you can get off my feed if you don't like it. So, that's that. Love you. God bless you. Now I got to fix coffee. So, I think the only thing I have left to go in this pot is going to be, got my salt, got my pepper, eggs are down, Garlic is down. Breadcrumbs are down. So now the next thing for me to do is I'm going to have to put my gloves on because I'm not touching that ground meat. It's not going to happen. I don't. If I have to, I will, but I don't have to because I do have gloves. Okay. Okay, his coffee's down. All right, now to find my gloves. I'm really excited about this soup, but like I told y'all, yeah, I know. I'm probably going to get in trouble after the live's over with. And you know what trouble means. Yeah. He adds to the list of the words I'm not supposed to use. Not allowed to use the H words. And I said kiss my grits the other day, so he added G words to that. I don't care. It's a camaraderie. It's funny. We're not being mean to each other, and he is never mean to me. That man adores me, and I adore him. We've been doing this a whole hot minute, y'all. 1985. We were just kids. Yeah, that's got to go way. That's gonna have to cook way down. Let me turn my camera because Brother Polk does not want to be on camera. Honey, will you get me some chicken broth, please? I'll turn the camera. So what I'm going to do now is when he gets the chicken broth, I'm going to add about a half a carton to this. As a matter of fact, I think I might have some left over from the last cook I can put in here, but I'm still going to need more of it because I need to fill this pot later. So I'm going to add some stock to this and let those vegetables continue to tenderize in there. And I don't have any more seasoning. But what I will do once I get my stock up and it cooks for a little while, I'm going to taste it to see if I need to add any salt. Hey Janet, how are you? I've been watching some of your stuff. I had to work today, but I did on my break a little bit. Pokey Lee old. Yeah, she's 37. My baby's going to be 38 in February. So I don't want to put my hands on that till I do the broth.
Here, baby.
Thank you, baby. Again, I'm using unsalted broth. And that's not going to be enough. Not for cooking this on down. That's probably about 3 or 4 cups in there. So now that I've got more broth in there, more liquid, I'm going to turn the heat back up again. And then I'm going to start working on these meatballs. And I've got my dirty plate that my cheese was on. And I'm going to sit it right there. And then I'm going to start working this. I may actually need another egg. In which case, if that happens, then I'm going to need another set of gloves. Because I'll have to take this glove off, these gloves off, get the eggs, and do it again. And we'll see. And something else my granny taught me, when it's something that you can't taste to see if you have enough seasoning in it, if you know what it smells like, in particular raw meat, you can smell it. She could smell salt. I can smell salt. To see if it's, where it needs to be. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I can do it now. I really haven't had to do it lately. It's been a long time because, we had that thing COVID that really messed us all up on our senses, taste and smell and all of that. but I need to be mod so I can, okay, pin you. Okay, I'll add you, but I can't do it right now, baby. Okay, what are you making? I'm making Italian wedding soup. And so you're a little bit late coming to the party, but I'll tell you that, let's see, who am I talking to? I read your comment, forgot to, oh, Janet called. One of the things about me is I don't really follow recipes, and I've been cooking for a long time, and but I can already tell y'all this is gonna be way too much meat, but that's okay. Anyway, so I'm doing this recipe for the first time, Janet, and I'm doing it live, so I'm not really afraid to try new things or recipes. So I'm actually doing this to be an encourager to others, just to go with it, I mean, if you're comfortable in your kitchen, I am. I guess I moved over because that's a glass top stove and I'm putting a lot of pressure into this meat. But anyway, I am super excited about this. So I really hope the meatballs come out really good and tender. Have you ever made it before? Who's laughing? Oh, Janet. Janet, have you ever made this soup before? Hey, Pokey Lee, my baby. Are you feeling better? No? Do you cook, Janet? I'm trying to teach my kids. I'm trying, and anyone else that wants to do this, I'm trying to teach them how to make. Oh, that was the coffee pot, wasn't it, honey?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am pulling gloves off, and those are going in the trash. Washing hands. And I know y'all probably think I'm a little redundant with the whole hand washing thing, or even saying it, but I'm here to tell you, y'all, I witness it firsthand too much. People wonder why, germs are spread so fast and everybody's so sick. I'm not talking about antibacterial soap. I'm talking about just good old soap and water. People fail to use it. They don't wash their hands, when they're working with food and, transferring from one type of, work area to another, or one food product to another. Something else. I have long hair, which has kind of gotten shorter because I do have sleep apnea, and I think that that's caused a lot of the hair breakage that I have. Let me get his coffee to him, y'all. Anyway, I cannot stand, I watch cooking videos a lot, different cooking videos, and a lot of the pop-up stuff on Facebook, and there's a few people on there. Let me tell you something. I would never eat anything out of their kitchen for this reason. That hair is flopping everywhere. Or, and I know y'all, some pet people out there, that dog in the kitchen or cat in the kitchen on the counter. No. No, no. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Does not work. Does not belong there. And I will not eat the food from that kitchen. Again, I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm just telling you how it is. Yes, he's spoiled. Okay. There they are. All right. Y'all, this stuff is rolling over here. You know what? I'm going to give this a little bit of help. I'm making a mess. Where is my pulverizer? That's one of the best inventions there ever was right there. Alright, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Now, where were we? We were about to make meatballs. Let's see. G-Baby watching. Hey, my sweet little bitty baby. Granny loves you. Oh, y'all gonna have a treat now. Oh, I gotta take this off. Y'all getting a real treat now, because let me tell y'all something. Every time I see my little G-Baby, she calls me on FaceTime, or wherever I see her, she calls, whatever. Granny sings to her. So, la 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 la. You ready? Okay, are you ready? Are you ready, little bitty baby? Now, y'all, this song, I do not know what the second verse is. I don't know anything like that. All I remember is my daddy made this, he wrote this song, or made it up, when we were little babies. What did you buy, Abby? Anyway, she's ready. My little bitty baby's ready. Okay. So Daddy made this song up, and he sang it to every one of us. And I have made sure, if I got a hold of any cousin babies, little babies, all of my nieces, nephew, if I held them in my arms, they got sang to. This song. And y'all going to laugh. You're going to think, why in the world would he make up a song like that? But it is what it is. And it goes like this. My little baby's name is Birdie Lee. So Granny sings it to her. I love my little birdie loves me. I tied my little birdie to the green bay tree. My little birdie said, wah, wah, wah. I love my little birdie loves me. That's all I know, y'all. And she cracks up, and has cracked up since she was little, when Granny says the wah, wah. Just like all the rest of us. So, there you have it. Thank you, baby. So, now, I'm going to keep making these meatballs, and y'all, I ain't too bad. Look at that. Let me tell you what farming will do for you. You learn how to measure things. You learn how to eyeball things. You learn how to cut a row straight, make things even. Now, I got one. They look pretty uniform, don't they? I'm losing my touch a little bit, but I think I did pretty good, y'all. How about that? So, anyway, picking up that plate reminds me of something. There was when we were in Florida, we lived over in Florida for about 6 years, and I love that. Those are Corelle dishes, and they're light, which works for me. I hate heavy plates, hate them. And anyway, I had a set of plates that were kind of heavy, and they were really cheap when I got them. I'm a very frugal person, and but anyway, I started cooking on the cooking team at the church, and I cooked for every funeral. And if you know anything about down south, we cook. We when somebody passes away, we figure it out. We find out where everybody's going to congregate after the service. I don't know what FYP means, but anyway, we would congregate. We congregated at wherever, after the service. So I was baking. I do a phenomenal pound cake, and I would bake pound cakes, all kinds of stuff. But I would deliver those meals, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have cake plates or disposable trays or nothing like that. And I'll be honest with you, I really didn't know you could buy that stuff. Just something I'd never dove into, just never did. And so anyway, I was delivering those cakes, and I told the lady, the sister in the church, I said, please make sure I get my plates back. Well, I never got them back. And so anyway, thank y'all. I just didn't have any plates left, so I told my husband, I said, well, until I find me a set of Corelle that I want, and I get me a full set, we're eating off paper plates. I am not buying another set of plates. So that's what we did. I had all my other dishes, and of course I kept cooking. Always cook. And so there was a lady, our landlord, his sister, he had moved her in the apartment behind us. And I was talking to her, went and sat, she was an elder. And I went, and I loved to go sit on her porch and talk with her. She was the sweetest thing. Y'all pray for her. She's got Alzheimer's now. Her name is Marie Jewell. And as far as I know, she's still with us. But anyway, I was sitting back there telling her about, how I was looking for me a set of Corelle dishes. And, hey, Marcia, thank y'all. Y'all know I got my hands full. I can't really do a lot on that screen. So we're sitting on the back porch, and this is how God works. God, he blesses you, if you're living in his word and you are serving others. Everybody worries about their call, what their calling is about from God, that kind of stuff. Well, we're all called. We're all called to serve. Hey, Heidi. And so I can see that better, y'all. Victoria and Casey, when y'all are reposting that, I can see that text brighter, what the name of the person is that's joined us. Hey, Geraldine. Tika. So I'm sitting there telling her, and we've always been givers. We help everybody that we can, and part of food ministry and cooking for funerals is giving. Because nobody's paying for that but you. It's coming out of your pocket. And so I've been doing that for quite some time. And I'm sitting back there talking to Sister Jewel. And I'm telling her, I'm just looking for a set of Corelle. I'm going to probably find me a set on Facebook. Or I'm going to go to a yard sale or whatever. She said, come here, let me show you something. She took me back there to her shed. Y'all, that woman had like 5 sets of Corelle dishes. And she let me pick the one I wanted. So that's what those are, and that would have been in, I got to do something here. Okay, there we go. Well, now I got to put on another glove. Let's see if I can pull it out with this one. I had to drag a puzzle piece. It was fixing to stop on me. But let me think back what year that was. Probably 2008 or 7, something like that. Maybe, no, probably 8 or 9. Yeah, because it would have been like 8 or 9. We were at Pastor Webb's church. That's First Apostolic in Milton. We were there. And but that's the one thing she did not have was the saucers, the teacup saucers, and I love hot tea. So I searched out those, but couldn't find any, and I went to the Goodwill one day, and they had a stack of them in there like that with a little light blue rim and green rim that matched that perfectly. So that was a blessing to me. And I think I have 12 plates, maybe. I know it's a lot. I can't remember how many. But anyway, that's that. Y'all, this is going to be so good. I'm super excited. Jessica, welcome. So has nobody's answered me, has anybody ever made Italian wedding soup? Heidi Jones, 5:30. I'm making Italian wedding soup for the first time, live. This is not really a southern dish. Abby hasn't made it. Anybody else? Heidi? Not Heidi. Shelby? Welcome. Y'all, it's getting kind of late on me. I might have to come back for part 2 with this, because I probably need to start dropping some of these down. Jackie Abera. No, okay. Let's see, Heidi Jones. Abby. Honey, can you go cut that air down some? Okay. All right. I'm going to check my pots and vegetables. Oh yeah, those are cooking way down. KK, Brandy, Judy, welcome. All right, I'm going down with the rest of that carton of broth. And this is a broth soup, y'all. There's not a roux in this. So, which will be easier on the tummy. It takes supposed to take 15 minutes to cook the meatballs. And then we're going to add the pasta and the greens. Oh, let me go get the pasta. So I was ordering Hungry Root for a while, and our FedEx person was terrible, so I had to stop. So I've got, and Hungry Root has some really good products if you can get it on time, and it's not warm and not flipped over. So I've got some tricolored pearl couscous that I'm going to use for this. And this is the last of my whole spelt. Spelt is a ancient grain. This couscous is actually much healthier for you than the other, which, let me see what this one's made out of. This is wheat flour, spinach powder, and paprika. So it contains wheat. And my kids are not allergic to nuts. This actually was made in a facility put together where soy milk, eggs, tree nuts, and sesame are processed as well. So, but I'm adding this, and my kids don't eat healthy like we do all the time. They eat our food if I feed it to them, but I don't have just a little bit of this left, so I'm going to see how well this goes, and if it's not good enough and not enough, I'm going to add some of the spelt couscous to it. I love this. I got it on Amazon. It's not supposed to be branding, but hey, it's Barron's, okay, and it's really good. It's got protein in it. Let's see, 3 grams of protein. That's because it's not sifted. I'm sorry. And this has fiber in it, dietary fiber as well. But anyway, that's that. And I do not think that that's going to be enough meatballs. So we're going to keep going with that. Probably going to do double that because I still have to put probably another carton and a half of broth in here to actually make the soup. That's carrot, y'all. Anyway, let's see. Let's go. Okay. Okay, y'all gonna have to tell me what grab up means. Grab everyone. I don't know what that means. Is that friending? Is that following? Is that, what is that? My kids are educating me on this. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Will do. Got it. But anyway, so, I worked today. Did anybody else work today? Friends. Say friends. Okay, friends. Or grab, not follow. Okay, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Whatever. I don't know why, but okay. This is one of those things I know nothing about. So I'm getting schooled on the whole TikTok thing. And the reason why I'm doing this is I am trying to be a blessing to those people that are out there that are willing to follow me, and hopefully I can teach them some things about working in their kitchen, little tricks I've learned through the years. Like I was talking about earlier, like Granny, she could smell meat. Yep, that has plenty of salt in it. So, you know, which I already know what I put in there. So, and again, salt also, if you have a stomach problem or you're sick stomach, salt is not something you need a lot of. If you need electrolytes because you're sick, then you need to get you some electrolytes. You know, don't overdo it with your salt in your pot. You can always add salt to food. And salt's not really good for you. It has a purpose. But it can be overdone. And I choose foods that do not already have added salt. Everything I use, I try to keep it with no added salt at all. If it has natural salt in it, you know, I try to account for that. You know, if you're using, like, honestly too, and I'm glad now that I'm thinking about it, because Parmesan tends to be salty. So I'm glad I didn't add a lot of salt to this, because it would be over salted. If I added a tablespoon, which I think your average cook, now that I'm thinking about it and just what other people do, they would probably add like a tablespoon and a half of salt to this 3 pounds of meat. Or maybe 2 tablespoons of salt. That is way too much salt. In particular, because this has like a whole cup and a little more of Parmesan in it. And it's going to taste salty. And thank y'all. But anyway, wow. 23.2K. I have no idea how many people are on here. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm trying to be a blessing to others, you know, and share a little bit about our lives and our journey, you know, to healthier eating. Today is definitely a red meat day for us. We need to protein up a little bit. We both know we didn't get enough protein yesterday. So we're basically, what we're doing is high protein, high fiber, as low carb as we can go. We're not carb free. We're not gluten free. I have figured out that I'm not celiac. I have a friend that's full celiac. It's horrible. And now he's found out that he's full-blown diabetic, type 1. It's terrible. But anyway, I am a little bit gluten intolerant, not much, but that has gotten so much better since I started our fresh meal journey. And And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about with fresh meal, I have a mill grain. If you go back to some of my videos, the tortilla video, homemade tortilla video, the Ezekiel bread video, you'll see my mill. I have a countertop mill, and I mill all of my own fresh grain. I have buckets around in my dining room underneath the bar, because we have a small home. We have a very small, modest home, and we absolutely love it. Victoria picked it out because the other house I was looking at had a bigger yard, and she was scared she was going to have to cut the yard. I'm telling on my kid. No, she figured, because I love to be outside also, because I love butterflies and hummingbirds, and she thought that it would just be too much for me to handle, too much yard. We had a big yard when we were in Louisiana, and I planted everything. I had gardens, flower gardens all over that thing. We were at war, and I had a red and white garden to honor our troops. And red, white, and blue garden. Remember that, baby? Cecil, Mattia. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you for joining. But anyway, I love to be outside. I have Mexican petunia. I have a lot of pink knockout roses. My yard needs help right now. And I have crepe myrtle. My crepe myrtle tree, it was developed at Mississippi State, and my friend got it. It had a number, and he named it. So he named it Panama Red. But I have some other red ones out there also. But that big Panama Red is the only tree I've ever bought and spent money on like that. But it was, you know, probably 15 feet high. It's huge now. But every year, every spring, it has a lot of babies. And I will go out there and pull up all those babies and put them in a bucket of water on my porch, and I give them away to people, so they have them for their yard. So there's no telling how many yards I've populated with those. But anyway, we're getting on up there. I think what I'm going to start doing now is I am going to throw these other vegetables down. I need 2 more cartons of broth, baby, please. And I'm going to put those other vegetables in there because I don't want them to overcook, because we're about ready to start dropping meatballs. Meatballs are supposed to be done in 15 minutes after I get them in there. And then when that happens, then I can add the pasta. Yeah, that's it, pasta. And I think I know the pasta only takes like 15 minutes. So, I mean, if you're here by 8, it'll be ready. But y'all taking it with you. Y'all better bring my bowls back too. Y'all know. I know I spent $1.25 on them Dollar Tree bowls, but yeah, I ain't going back to the Dollar Tree. You better bring a bowl if you come to get something.
2.
Yes, baby. Thank you. He's getting my chicken broth for me. So, got to take the gloves off. Yeah, I do go through a lot of gloves. Sam's used to have the gloves I use in a 2-pack, and I spent like $8 on them. And then there were 2 in there. So they stopped selling. And so I just have to hunt for the biggest bang for my buck, pretty much, you know. So this was parsley and green onions. And I'm about to add some more broth to this. We're going to bring it to a boil. And then we're going to start dropping meatballs in here. But I got to get more broth in here. Y'all, I'm not a T9C petite girl, but I'm looking at the video, and this apron sure makes me look like I'm about 30 pounds heavier than I am. but I don't care. I love this apron. This apron is so versatile, and it keeps everything off my clothes. Even if I pour something on it, it doesn't soak through to my dress. I love it. Yeah, this is I'm gonna let this cook, and we're about to start putting some stuff together here, y'all. I'm gonna keep making meatballs though. Where'd you go? Victoria? No, we will. Just gave my $1. We can send Abby. I'll drop all mine. Me and Abby. The makers of the orange cone. Well, y'all, you know, as much as I'd like to feed everybody, this is, you know, for my kids, my husband, and myself. And I do have a family that I'm about to cook for, and but I'm still praying about what all I need to do for them. They're in a really, 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 really bad way. And that's part of our ministry. It has been for years. You know, we help people, and we meet the immediate need. So if you're a praying person, y'all pray for us, and pray for, you know, that God gives us direction on how to handle the situation. For one thing, you know, like I said before, we work on the pretense of we're not about giving a handout, and what I mean by that is there's a repetitiveness to giving, and people that are constantly in need, you know, sometimes, and it turns into just constantly. So, you know, the point of, you know, being kingdom minded and working in the kingdom is to get people, help them get to where they can live by the principles of God and Scripture, and God will take care of their needs. But they've got to get themselves away in life, in a position in life with God that, you know, allows Him to do that for them. So we try our best to be the hand up and not the hand out. So when I say pray, I mean we're literally seeking God's will. And if you can do that in the name of Jesus and be prayer partners with us, then that's what we expect of you and your friendship. You know, and if not, hey, we wouldn't know the difference, you know, but God will. And let's see, I need to turn this back up. What I am noticing is about this and the amount of the vegetables, it does look like a lot of vegetables. So I may actually strain some of those out and save that for another stock pot, which there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, now do you see what I just did? That's why I don't have a problem doing things on the fly, because especially cooking, because I understand how to cook, and I'm looking at that pot, and I think that the bed of vegetables that's kind of floating in there, it looks a little bit dense for what I'm trying to do. This is more of a clear brothy type soup, and they may be perfectly fine with it, but I don't know. I'm going to see in just a minute. I'm going to take that lid off, and I'm going to get my spoon, and I'm going to stir it, and then I'm going to scoop out some, and I'm going to taste and see if I've got my flavors right, which I'm pretty sure I do. I didn't leave anything out. The only thing would be absent would be an amount of salt, which can be added. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the actual flavor of the soup. Okay, so like I said, I'm well versed enough in what I'm doing and confident enough in what I'm doing that I know that even if I put too many vegetables in that stock, I can take some out, put them away, let them cool down, and put them in the freezer for later for another pot of soup. There's nothing wasted here, okay? So that being said, I'm going to grab this cup, and I'm going to sit it over here, and then my little scoop spoon, and we're going to try this. Okay? Actually, I'm going to move y'all over here. Let me see if I can do this without burning anything. Okay, see all that? That's a lot of green vegetables there. Remember I told y'all my husband's a help? Y'all hear all that noise in the background? He's over there getting our vitamin dividers set up for the week because he does that on Tuesdays. Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong.
Today's Monday.
Oh, today's Monday, and we're out, so. Honey, are you congested? Okay, you good? Okay, well, I was wrong, y'all. Look at this, okay? I can move this around. I don't know if y'all can see that good. These vegetables are kind of floating on the top, but it's not going to be too much. This is going to be fine. It's really going to be good. Okay, and plus these are going to cook on down too. All right, so I was a little worried about that, thinking maybe it was too many vegetables, but they're cut up fine also, and they'll get more and more tender as well. But yeah, I mean, I could probably put it in a bigger pot, and honestly I could. I mean, it's not overdone, but I could take this and put it in a bigger pot and add a couple more cartons or another carton of broth, and it would be just fine, and keep going with the meatballs, and you know, I'd have 2 big pots of soup, and I possibly could do that, but I don't think I want to. You know, my baby needs, they all do, the ones that are struggling, they need some of this nutrient, these rich nutrient vegetables here in their tummy. And these are light. It's not going to hurt them. These are going to be good for their stomach. Okay? So I'm not going to take anything out of that. All right. We're going to bring that up here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire up a little bit more and bring it up to a boil. And then in a minute, we're going to be dropping meatballs. Okay. Where y'all at? Let's see here. Who we got? Yeah, so regardless of what goes in the pot as far as meatballs go, I still have to make these because I'm going to freeze them if they're not going in the pot. And the reason why I did this is because first of all, I wanted to make sure I had enough, because this is going to feed 3 households, minus the normal 4 that I'm doing, because my sister is not going to eat these onions. She's not going to eat all that. So she's missing out on this. Not really missing out, because she might like the meatballs, but it does have garlic and cheese in it. But anyway, it's not, you know, it's just not her thing. She's doesn't like all the veggies, the carrots and onions and that kind of stuff. So have any of you ever made any type of meatballs? Or y'all buying them from Walmart or pre-packaged? And I'll do that sometimes if I'm doing a potluck at church or something like that. I do those jelly, put a jar of jelly in there and some grape jelly and some barbecue sauce. People love that stuff. Full of preservatives, full of poison. They love it. That pots are rolling, y'all. So it's going to be 15 minutes on the meatballs. Oh, I'll take that lid off. And we're going to go down a little bit. And I'm going to start dropping meatballs. Actually, I'm going to do it this way. I love this thing. My sister gave it to me. I have used it so much since I got it from her. Instead of plopping and making splashes, I can do it this way and drop them in there. Isn't that handy dandy? Yeah, 15 minutes on the meatballs, y'all. And then I'll start putting the couscous in here. I might be able to manage without it splashing. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. You know what I didn't do? I didn't taste that broth, but I think it's fine. Alright, let me see what I got in here. Ooh, that's going to be so good. I love vegetables. Soup, any kind of gumbo, anything that's got a lot of chunky stuff in it, that's my game. Love it. Love fresh stuff. And I could have used, I've got a lot of spices and seasonings up there in the cabinet. I could have used all that, but I wanted to make this fresh. It's different. Fresh herbs and vegetables have a different, they're just different. They're just better. They taste better, and they're better for you because they're in their most natural form. Okay. That's going to be so good. I guess I'll probably better set a timer too. All the vegetables are coming to the top because the meatballs are in the bottom. Let me see. Probably need to go half again more. Whoop. See, I don't want it to splash me. Okay, I think that's going to be enough meatballs. Let me feel. Yeah, that's going to be enough meatballs. All right. Now, we're going to let this go for 15 minutes. There we go. And I'm going to finish the meatballs, making these so I can put them in the freezer. So, how we doing? Let's see here. Jessica, welcome. Oh, top giver. I think that was a Jessica. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. I really hope this has been a blessing to y'all and giving you some newfound confidence in your kitchen and newfound faith in God. I hope you learned something. If you got a freezer and you can buy some freezer bags, you know, don't be afraid to overdo meat. Just, you know, a family of 3, you can use about a pound of ground meat for a meal. You know, depending on if you got a teenage son in the house, you might want to go 2 pounds. I remember when I was young at home, my mama used, when she pulled out the hamburger meat, it was a 5-pound tube or a 10-pound tube. It was a lot of ground meat. There were 5 kids. And she didn't cook but once a day. I think I've said that in a couple of my videos. You know, we had the farm, and it was, you know, you make do. You figure it out. You find something to eat. I'm scared of that pot overflowing. So here, I'm going to show you another little trick. I know it works with rice. I've never done it with this pot before. But a wooden spoon is supposed to keep it from overflowing, from foaming up and overflowing. Not sure if I trust that, but we're going to find out. But what I was saying is that, you know, we just had to find what we could find to eat. Sometimes I would make hoe cake. Sometimes I didn't have milk. I'd have to make hoe cake with water and eat that with syrup or butter, if you had butter. I'll turn it down. And, but for the main meal, she cooked one big pot of something. And it, you know, and if it was hamburger meat, it was 5 pounds of hamburger meat. And she'd make what we call goulash, which was corn and green beans to us. I mean, everybody's goulash is different. Goulash for us was, and Granny did not make goulash, but our mama was from her origin. And when I say mama, I'm talking about when I'm on the farm. I'm talking about Jenny Kay. She was actually my stepmother, but I called her mama, and my baby calls her Granny Kay. And then we have Granny Martha, which is my biological mother. But anyway, so she has German origins. And I think goulash is a German dish. But, you know, she didn't know anything about German, but something was passed down. And she just took it and kind of did what she could with it. She learned how to cook from my daddy, but I'm sure she remembered some things from her childhood and her heritage. You know, not that she would know everything about it, but, you know, goulash to her was just anything she had to throw in a pot, you know. So she would put that ground meat, green beans and corn and tomatoes and spaghetti noodles, and it was elbow macaroni if she had it, which was very rare. Sometimes she'd just take spaghetti and break it up and throw it in there. But it's what we had, you know. And that's where I come from. We were very poor. Daddy, he was on Social Security. It was less than $700 a month, and he couldn't walk. And we farmed, and we tried to survive. And we were a makeshift farm. We wasn't like a big farm that has all the finest of everything. Matter of fact, Vicky, my sister, has got the old metal handle, and they belong to Papa, I think. Post hole diggers. They're made out of steel tubing, square tubing. We just had, you know, whatever we could have. I mean, we did buy a tractor with some implements at one point, but we just did the best we could. Everything wasn't perfect, and you know, the finest of tractors. We did get an L245 Kubota, however you want to say it. Daddy said Kubota, I think. But he didn't pronounce everything appropriately all the time. We did what we could. And just like that hoe cake, I didn't always have milk, but I had water. And I could fry some bread up. Had an old cast iron skillet. We had eggs, always had eggs, because we had chickens. And yeah, this is going to make a lot more meatballs. I'm going to be able to make a whole nother soup with this. This is going to be so good. That's saying 8 minutes. I'm going to check one of those meatballs. Some of them were already down before I set that timer for 15 minutes. So you see what I did? I knew it took me a few minutes to do that. Meatballs are supposed to cook for 15 minutes, and I know I'm not going to go all 15 minutes on that timer. Actually, probably should have set it for 11 or 12 minutes. Yeah, And these are tiny meatballs, so I know that they're going to cook quick. I'm going to taste this broth. Okay, that needs salt for sure. Those meatballs are delicious, y'all. And they're done. Okay, so that's good. Oh yeah, my young is really going to enjoy that. All right, let me set this down here. All right, this is old granny trick, and I will tell you, based on the flavor test and the just taste test right there, this is getting a tablespoon of salt. Y'all think I got that about right? It's worked as long as I've been cooking, y'all. Okay, so here we go. Normally this would have just a white colored pasta in it, but I'm doing the tricolored, which is fine, y'all. It's fine. It's really fine. I bet y'all just love how I don't measure nothing. Hardly. Okay. Couscous does puff up a little bit. Let me see how this spoons from the bottom. Let me get my little spoon. And I'll see if I need to add some more couscous to this. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. Yeah, my poor husband's probably starving to death. I would have got this done sooner, but I'm gonna add this whole pack. It's gonna be fine. I promise y'all, it's gonna be fine. This was 8 ounces. You okay, baby? You hurting? Yeah? What, your neck? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to tend to him and rub his shoulder down and his neck. Oh, truck drivers, y'all, they have inherent injury to the neck and shoulder area. And mine's been doing trucks and hauling trucks and building materials and brick for nearly 40 years, so. All right, that is between medium and low. I'm gonna stick my spoon back in it because my wooden spoon, because I don't want it to boil over. And that's done. I mean, when the little couscous is tender, that's ready to eat. It's gonna be delicious, y'all. C'est bon. C'est bon. All right. I don't know what that means. 50K. You trying to? Oh, that's the goal. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Okay. Well, praise God, y'all. I've made Italian wedding soup for the very first time, and I did it on live TikTok with my youngins watching. And sorry. Hey, Mason. Hey, Brandy. Hey, Sister Brandy. Brandy Morrell. It's so good that you're on here. I'm thankful for you. Hey, girl. Brandy Morrell 425. She is from First Pentecostal in Slidell. That is Sister Brandy. And thank you so much. This is going to be so good. But what I was saying earlier too, I think I mentioned it. You can use orzo. You can use couscous. You can actually put rice in this. Some people actually put and use barley. I've seen this soup. I know for a fact I've seen people use barley and make this, that's got to be really good. I think the next time I make it, I think I'll use barley for Brother Polk and I. We love whole grain, and it's just so good for you, y'all. We are converted to whole grain now, and it has all of the fiber, the full nutrient, and the fiber and the germ in it that we use, and it's really good for you. And if you have the opportunity and you have the finances to do it, I really strongly recommend it for all of you cooks and bakers out there. Make the conversion for your family. Our flour that we buy in the store is not good for us, and it is what is killing us all. And y'all need to realize too, there are some countries and some regions, they don't know anything about the pretty flour that we have, that white flour that we buy in the grocery store. They don't have a clue. You know why? Because they are still 52.2 K. They are still using fresh mill flour. They have never used anything else but fresh mill flour. They don't know how to cook with, and wouldn't know how to cook with, white flour. They're still milling their own flour. And that's really what God intended. He never intended for us to strip down our food to nothing and then try to fortify it with chemicals. It's why we have diabetes. It's why we have heart conditions that should not exist, because our bodies have not been able to process our grain the way it should to keep us healthy. So anyway, I don't know if one of my... Okay, you're going to have to give me some direction here, Victoria. I don't know when. I'm pretty much done. So I need to know what I'm supposed to do. If I need to end the live feed, what's the next step? See teacher, Pokey Lee. Hey, Carolyn Bush. I think that said Bush. Was it Bush or Rush? I don't know. Y'all are fabulous. I thank y'all so much. It's not a farmer, it's bestowed upon me. And oh, how sweet. Bucket stew. It is not bucket stew. It is Italian wedding soup. Okay. All right. Tell me what to do. All right. I think I'm supposed to end, Victoria. Hold their names down and pin them, okay? All right, I got to figure out how to do that. Okay, so let's see if I can do something. pen. Okay. Get more, I don't know. Anyway, y'all, don't know how to do that, Victoria. All right, everyone. I'm tired. It's been a long day, and I've come home and I've cooked a whole meal, and you guys got to join me during that. And like I said before and over again, be blessed of God and know that He's in control no matter what you're going through, no matter what's happening in your life. If you can just give Him a moment and tell Him that you appreciate Him and you're thankful that He's in control and you don't have to worry about whatever the outcome is because He's in charge of the results. God bless you and keep you. Until we meet again, my friends, thank you for joining.